man, but he didn't extra. Only an ordinary man, but he didn't extra. Man, but he didn't extra. Man, but he did it. Man, but he did it. Man, but he did it.
So this is Heidi. She's like my favorite person. So she's the owner of Blue Gum Equestrian. This is where I stable my horse. She's also my mentor and my trainer. How long have I been here?
I think you've been here now about 2 years, if not longer, because I know you've had Mardi here for like almost a year.
So almost a year already.
So she got her own horse. It was so exciting when she got that, so I'm so glad she brought him here to Blue Gum. The stunning grey that I can look at over there.
Yeah, but it's been challenging. It's a year of chaos. It feels longer. Mardi has just been, he's been good, but challenging.
Yes, horse ownership is challenging, and I try and ease you into it. I'm like, oh, your horse needs this. He needs this.
It's just like, come on. I've never fallen off a horse so much in my life, but it's like teaching me, and at least you're always like patient with me. But honestly, how have I been doing?
No, she's definitely improved from the days when she used to ride the school ponies to now riding a big, I don't know, how tall is he? 16.1, 16.2? Big thoroughbred. So she's definitely learning compared to the pony she started on. And you still need to do your first show. So you're going to do it in July. We're having our Winter Classic in July, and you're yet to ride her own horse in the show.
Oh, is she really putting pressure on me now? I can't back out, guys.
But I'm sure you can start doing that.
But she's honestly like the best trainer, like the tips she gives and how she trains me and the confidence. And I mean, how long have you been riding here? How long have you had Sky?
Yeah, well, I've been basically riding since I was 2. I was lucky enough to grow up on a property that had a horse. And when my mom or my dad couldn't find me, I was at the stables. And so we're pretty much riding since then. I got Sky in 2020 in lockdown, actually.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and that was a long journey because he had like a colic op, and we had to like rebuild his strength and stuff. And literally when we were about to go do our first show, I got COVID. Then I got COVID a year later in 2021, and I was man down. Then as I was just coming back, he fractured his pastern, because he's one of those horses, when he sees a friend, he squeals, he's like, "Ee!" And then he slammed it on like a wooden pole. So then he cracked his pastern, so he was off. And then just as he came back in, he jumped on my toe and broke my toe. So we had the longest start, but then eventually we got going. So I think we're in a good place now. And then as long as we've been in Blue Gum, that was October 2022.
It's almost 3 years.
That we've been here. But I started Blue Gum in a smaller premises in Germiston. So it ran there for 11 months. It was really good there. And then, of course, I saw the bigger property and thought, let's be dumb enough and buy a big farm. So we've been here almost 3 years.
And then what's one piece of advice you can give to like beginner riders or people that doesn't come from like equestrian background, that knows nothing about horses?
I would say just keep at it. Obviously, if it's your passion, stick to it. I know you will fall, you will get hurt, and you'll fall again, and a horse will stand on your toe. And they don't normally bite, even those people are terrified of them biting, but they might grab your hand when you feed them a carrot. So stuff's gonna happen, but stick to it because it's very rewarding in the end. So definitely listen to your coaches, they know what's best. And I don't know, I think if it's in you, you're gonna stick with it regardless. And I can easily spot those kind of people. Some people fall off and that's it, never coming back, whatever. And then you get other people which literally don't off like 7 times in a lesson, and there they are the next day, we've got a show to do. So you can see who's the real people and who's not. But I think just stick with it for the love of the horse, it'll come. But it's one of those things. Practice, time in the saddle is the only way.
Your practice and consistency is key, and it's so rewarding, especially with Mardi. It's my first horse, like learning and growing with them, and like getting to know his little manners. He gets to know me, how I use my reins, and it's just starting with a pole on the ground and now knocking a 20, it's so
There's something to knock now.
maybe if we're lucky at 40 I can get over it and not fall, but it's just such a beautiful journey. And like when I say his name Mardi and he looks at you and you recognize your
Yeah.
voice, it's really rewarding. And it's like you say, consistency is key.
for sure,
And
yeah.
you should mentally prepare, you are going to fall.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen. It is an animal at the end of the day.
Yeah, with his own brain.
And emotions the same way we do, but just, you know, ride it out.
Yeah.
Ride it out.
And like you always, what's that? There's actually a saying, can't remember it exactly, but it's basically in uncertainty, one of you has to stay calm because you're both going to poop yourself for whatever reason, but you're going to be the one to be calm because if you're going to freak out, your horse is definitely going to freak out. So you're the one who's got to bluff and be calm.
And it's hard because your son was just like, oh my soul, zen,
Yes.
and then nope, on the floor. And they look at you like, what's your problem? I'm the problem.
Yes.
You are the problem.
Most of the time it is us. We always mess up for whatever reason. Yeah, we've got a lot to learn. And the horses, he's just trying to understand what we're telling him. And if we just communicate that a little bit wrong, it can be that you go one way and he goes the other way.
I mean, you've been riding since you were 2, and I'm sure you are still learning along the
Oh,
way.
yeah,
And,
for sure.
I mean, there's so much new supplements on the market and like gear and everything. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know about this. And it's just continuously learning and improving yourself.
Yeah.
And patience. You're not going to be a champ in
No,
a year,
that's
2 years.
That's the thing, yeah.
It takes so long.
Yeah, I actually always have a chuckle when I get some people that come here and they're like, will I get a certificate? When will I get a certificate? How long does it take till I learn to ride? And I'm always like, well, it's a lifelong passion. You don't have like 3 months and now you can ride. So it's definitely a lifelong journey to learn to ride. And if you look at the top riders, they still got their coaches there, they still do lessons, they still bail off. And I gotta say, we were at, what show was I at 2 weeks ago? I was at Kailami. What was it? Anyway, but Barry Taylor was I always looked up to him when I was young. And he came around, they were all trying to do this jump off turn and he bailed off. And that's like the Barry Taylor in our industry and he still falls off. So we gotta be humbled by that, not be so hard on ourselves when we fall off. We're like, if those guys still fall off or knock a pole, they still do that. So, I mean, we are far from their level. So we're gonna do many more falls as well. So I thought that was quite like a humbling thought. I mean, he went for it, he tried the best turn there, but it was actually an impossible turn. And I think after they saw Barry do that turn and actually come short, everyone else was like, no, they're gonna go around. So it's those things, to watch the big guys and see that it's not all, sweets for them either.
And we all like learning from each other's mistakes. Like when we do our little jumps in the arena, it's like, okay, she cut that corner way too quickly. Let me just go around her, make sure I'm aligned with the middle pole, jump, confidence, okay, sit back. But like you said, you will fall. Sometimes your hand and eye coordination isn't the best and then you yeet. But it's just getting back on and growing and learning and not just be like, okay, I fell, I'm done with it.
That's it, yeah. So that's why I say persistence. You've got to just get back on the horse. That's where that saying comes from, because you're going to fall, you're going to knock a pole, you're going to cut the thing short, you're going to lose your reins, you're going to lose your stirrup. It happens all the time. But, and then you might bail off because of that. And then, just get back on your horse. Chances are it wasn't their fault. And then...
It was your fault, but you never admit it's like, it's the horse. And it's like, girl, was it the horse?
So that's all I would say. If it's really something you want to do, don't kid yourself. It's going to take a while to learn how to do it. It's not a 3-month
crash course. It's a
Crash course,
lifelong journey. But that's beautiful because you're constantly growing and learning and not just staying in one place. Like, okay, I'm the best. I can do everything.
Yeah.
What now?
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful, painful, sometimes frustrating,
For sure,
but rewarding
frustrating.
journey.
For sure, definitely.
Shoot.